Today's YouTube is about the reverse beacon network and how I've just played around with it. I actually played around last night and then thought, you know what, that's kind of probably useful to share because some other people may not have seen exactly how to do it or what to expect, etc. What the reverse beacon network is a network of SDR receivers around the world. I think some people called them skimmers in the past, but I'm not fully certain on that are listening to a spectrum of the frequency, and they're listening for CW, for call signs and unique things like CQ test, and CQ. So they're just sitting there around the world, and what you do is you configure your radio, if you don't do CW like me, to automatically key out your call sign and CQ test for example, or if you're good with you can do it that way, as long as you put your call sign and something like CQ test. So that's the basics of it, and now I'll spin you around and you can see actually what's going on here at my what Thomas would call my Murphy station. My Murphy bench. Not at all what I had at VA3SII, but there we go. So anyway, watch this. What really amazes me is that when I tried this yesterday, hopefully we can repeat it tonight, when I tried it yesterday I was reaching Canada from here on the pretty much the east coast of England, just about maybe 100 kilometres north of London. So it was just like, for me that's kind of mind-blowing. I'd never do that on SSB, not repetitively and as easily as I did CW. So maybe there's more of that story is you need to learn CW and then you'll get some more. But anyway, let's spin around and see what's going on. Okay, this is right, record, start recording. 3, 2, 1, clap, clap. Hopefully we can sync the audio there. Okay, so first for a little teaser, this is the reverse beacon network at reversebeacon.net. There's possibly other ones out there, I haven't checked. I just did a Google and I found this. And this is what I used in my test yesterday. So over this area here are the bands that you can monitor. I recommend you just go down to the band that you're on, otherwise you know it can get very busy. But what it shows is the paths, who's transmitting, where they're being received, etc. And that's what we're interested in a minute. So it's quite interesting, and in the lower part there's all the call signs, the signal strengths, by signal, like signal to noise ratio, and the timestamp, which is also useful. So before we get into that, I'm going to zoom in to the ICOM 7300 I have here. So my setup is an ICOM 7300, about probably 100 foot of coax out there to a tree, an end-fed half-wave on 80 which goes about 60 foot up a tree and then right away across my property to the front there. Literally like one extent to the other, but it works. So ICOM 7300, 100 watts. I don't do CW, so I'm using the built-in Kia which has memory. I guess this would work with the 705 as well. I'm presuming 705 is the same kind of OS firmware as this radio has. Okay, so that said, yeah, we're going to zoom in, power up this old girl, zoom in, hopefully you can see what we're doing, and then we'll do the tests on here. Okay. Alright, hopefully that's good enough for us. A bit on the wonk, but you know, I'm not a pro. So, we're on 40, it doesn't really matter where you are. You hit the mode key, where you can, you know, select AM, SSB, etc. You need to be in CW. This was the bit that stumped me. Mine is currently working with break-in, BKIN there, and you can select that by this button over here, Vox break-in. I tried for absolutely ages, I was not getting anywhere, and then I noticed that the power supply, even though the radio was cycling through CW, it was like it was a Morse trainer or a Morse tutor going, because there was no current being drawn on the power supply. Once I realised that, I then went to that break-in menu, put that in, as I say, mine says BK in, and away it goes. Now it's very useful at this stage. Let's go to a memory. Okay, so first of all, let me show you what my settings are, and then we'll replicate it on another button. Okay, so on M7, oh that's bad, let's press that again to cancel it. If we go edit set, edit, and then M7, we can see it says CQ, 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 G7HCD, then I've got two spaces, don't ask me why I did two, but CQ, 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 G7HCD again, two spaces, and the same thing again. So I've got three sets of CQs and my call sign. That's what I've done here. Okay, so I can go to M6 and we'll edit it, and you just literally type it in. So CQ, 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 a space, your call sign, remember I did two spaces, CQ, 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 space, G7HCD, HD even, let's try that again, HCD, two spaces, I'm really not very good at this, am I? Considering it's a repetitive task. Don't ask me to work in a factory. Where are we going? CQ, CQ, CQ. I guess this is where you ask a kid to do it for you. G7HCD. Okay, enter, and there it is. So that's in my memory number 6. Last night's was memory 7. Okay, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, that one's got test on the end. But let's see if M6 memory 6 works. If not, we'll try it. I'll demo it with M7, which I know does work. And this way we'll know whether you need to put test in or not. Okay, so there's the buttons with the pre-programmed information. At this stage you want to go memory and scope so that you can see what the band's doing. On this radio, very nice, it's got a tuner in it. So I'm sat between two signals that are running there that look more like a data mode or something, I would say. So I'm going to go just above them, out of the way. Let's watch what's going on there. Go down to 7033. This is where someone tells me you can't be on 7033. But we are. Okay, so there's nothing there on 7033 as far as I can see. I'm going to hit the tuner. So that's good, you shouldn't really need it. Okay, and at this point we're going to go over to the computer, and we're on 40 metres, so let's go there, and there's 40 metres. So at the moment it's showing the paths here, there and everywhere, and what they're doing, and all of those people listed there are in the bit below here. So what we can do, I'll demonstrate here, is you can filter. So in this area here it says spotted call sign. Here's a spotted look. If I put K9SK, it will reduce that list down. So K9SK, enter. There's just K9SK. That's all there are, and you can see on the map where K9SK is and where he's reaching, or she. So in a minute I'll demonstrate that with my own call sign, and therefore you'll see where I'm reaching. But for now we'll take that filter out. So we click back here, just remove it, press enter, everything is there, and now everybody is shown. Okay, so the test's about to commence. We hit menu on here and Kia, and then we're going to press that M6 button, which is what we just stored. Okay, so on here, on the website, it updates roughly every minute, and you can see in where it says time, currently it's 19:52. That's just flash, that's just updated. So although you transmit, when you stop transmitting, you might not see your information updated on there for another minute, so bear that in mind. Okay, so here we go. There it is transmitting. If you had my headphones on, you'd be hearing that. Right, there we go. 18 words a minute. It's rattling out my call sign at 18 words a minute. And we'll just wait for it to update on the computer afterwards. There we go. So that's done. Now it's not going to be here immediately, remember, it's going to be, up to a minute. We'll see it flash. Probably you'll see some of my call sign there. Okay, it's just flashed. Is my call sign there anywhere? I can't see it. I really can't see it. Let's put G7HCD in there. Maybe you needed to put test in. No, that's not spotted me. Okay, so let's do that same test again with my original memory from yesterday, which has the words test on there. Maybe that's the key to it. Here we go. So it's rattling them out again, and remember we're going to expect to see some traffic all coming back to the southeast of England. So that's just updated there. Also of note, I'm transmitting 7033, so you'll see 7033 silly me, I'm not. So I'm going to use memory number 6, and we're going to go on here. You need to, because I'm transmitting on 40 metres, you need to have 40 metres checked, which I didn't just now, but now on this one I will do, and hopefully we'll see whereabouts my signal is going. So let's try M6. Here we go. That's transmitting my call, and remember when we've finished, could be up to a minute afterwards before we see my call sign on there, and it's 2056, so on the screen it's going to be 1956 and 7033 megahertz here. There you go, that's finished. So we're just going to wait now, see for this to flash, which is its update. There's the flash, and there's my call signs there, G7HCD. And you can see on there now, if I type G7HCD in the filter box, it just reduces everything to me. There's where I'm reaching, so I'm reaching Iceland, Norway, Sweden, almost Finland there. I'm saying that because I don't recognise the country. Can we zoom in there? Helsinki, no. Tallinn, was that Estonia? But you know what, that's quite something, isn't it? And Sicily Island, as I said, Sicily Island. So yeah, that'll do me. And if we look at the bottom here, all of these stations, yeah, that's a lot of stations there, picked up my call sign. Yeah, what more can you say? It's a very interesting exercise. You can look down to see, you know, obviously the call signs, the distance, so you can select your maximum distance there. 1153 miles there for Italy. That would be the Sicily Island one. That's interesting. I would have thought the Iceland one was further than that, but apparently not. Anyway, let's do this same thing on 20 metres and see if we make it across the pond like I did last night. So there we go again. Let's erase that out. I'm going to click on 20 metres on the map. Just see what's going on. Oh, look at the distances involved there. It's more realistic. So yesterday I was making it east coast of the States here, probably these same stations. So let's go 20 metres. Again, I'm going to flick back to the scope view. See, I'm on a clear frequency, there's nothing much going on there, so we're pretty good. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. So what do? We're ready to go, aren't we? So we go to the Kia again, so menu, Kia, try our M6 that we programmed tonight, and that was just the CQ, and G7HCD, no test word or anything like that. Let's do it. There she goes. There's a CW that I should know and don't. That's kind of pulsing about 20 amps on my power supply, I can see. Finished. That has finished. So 14044, we're going to look for 14044 here, my call sign here, and whatever else information. And the time on mine is 2100, but it'll be 2000 on here when this flashes, I'm thinking. So there it's flashed. Is there anything from me? Yes, there's only a couple. G7HCD. Enter. Oh, that's not so good. So I've got a few out there, same Sicily Islands, over into Russia there. Yeah, fair distance. Might just be the propagation right now. As I say, when I tried it last night, I was literally reaching right down into the east coast of the States, kind of Atlanta area, above Florida, that kind of area. So what have we got this time? 1153 to IT9 GSF, which is that same Sicily Island station. They're receiving 18 dB for signal to noise. Not too clever. 18 words a minute at the time, date, and scene now. Stations, distance, frequency. It's yeah, it's pretty nifty stuff. So that is, as I say, 20 metres. I'm going to go back to, oh no, do you know what I didn't do? I didn't hit the ATU. So let's do that test again. Tune. I'm sure it's probably not going to make much difference. But here we go, it's going again. This time we're going to see 2102, so 2002 on here roughly to be able to know the difference. And I'll just leave the G7HCD filter on, because we'll see suddenly that list will just expand. At that time there was only 2 stations detected there. Not very far at all, DK9 and SE5. It's about the same. Okay, I'm going to bang this back on 40 metres and see what we can do there, because for right now that was more than we got here. Okay, so let's go back to 40 metres. Away she goes again. Get CQ now. Alright, so let's see now. The last ones we had in 1956, so we're going to get 2003s now. Should be a page full of them when it flashes, and we'll watch the orange lines on the map change. No, just one. SM7UN. No, I can't believe that. We got a page full of them just now, didn't we? Try tuning the aerial. Let's have another go. Excuse me. So now, there's probably someone replying to me. Good luck, fella. So now, yeah, we just wait for it to flash. 2104. No, just one again. DN5. What's the matter? Have I got a dummy load on the go there? For shits and giggles, oh no, there we go. There we go. What's the furthest there? 1175 T3FY, that's the Iceland one. Up there. So really, you know, it's automated, it's quite interesting, can tell you propagation. I mean, quite clearly I'm likely to have a contact into Europe there, because that's where the majority of the dots are. Yeah, probably it's early on, right? So maybe last night when I did it was later and things had shifted over to the west. But for sure, I was rocking some long contacts right the way down there into the States, and really took me by surprise. So yeah, we'll have one more. We'll do an 80 metre one. Again, let's go to the scope just to see we're not interfering with anyone. That's it tuned. Okay, it doesn't appear to be anything there. So on here we'll click over to 80 metres as well. No spots found. Might be a bit early, but you know, shits and giggles, let's do this. There she goes on 80. We'll see if anyone picks me up. Okay, so there is activity there. Let's put my call in. Nothing yet. Am I going to get spotted? Is that the correct terminology for this? The suspense. Yes. We have a whole one. MM0ZBH. Scotland. Scotland! 336 miles. Wow. Makes you want to rush out and buy a key. So yeah, once again, this time of night it works, but not as well as it worked for me last night with much further distances. We'll have one more go on 20, or what's 20, yeah. One more go on 20. There she goes. So 20:09 is the current time. There's 3 20:09s on there. In a minute. Oh, it's now, okay. So we only got 3 more on there again. But again, I'll be good for a QSO into Europe. So, last night, very interesting. Tonight, informative. That's it, but at least you know how to do it, what to look for, and I guess thrill of the chase, understanding propagation. You can see the daytime, nighttime, and the grey line on there. I'm not quite sure, maybe you might be able to increase the map size to something useful. You can just scroll it around here, scroll it in and out. But yeah, honestly, even that information is useful and interesting. I hope you found it informative at least, and we'll leave it at that. Enjoy.
So this video, if you like it, our video, comment down below or thumbs up.
Thanks for watching VA3SII. Bye.